Well, I decided to do 70 Buck Hill. Holy Christ, let me tell you, first part of this trail coming up there, steeper than all bloody hell. Oh, you gain a lot of elevation. You can see the road down in the bottom there. You gain a lot of elevation fast, so it's actually a lot quicker coming this way. But let me tell you, that is most definitely a 25 and stop. And straight up through those trees there, roughly, just keep, if you're on this hill, just keep going up. You will end up at where you need to be. But I tell you now, that's a lot of up. Glad I stopped for a rest. But, that's heavy going in one hit. I'm sure if you're 20 something you could probably run up that hill. However, I'm not. I'm quite a few 20s all stacked on top of each other. However, don't underestimate how nice that is. It's very nice, eh? Right, I have a fair amount of elevation still to go, but at least from here up it's actually not too bad. It's that first bit, you can see how steep it is. It literally, any steeper than that they call it a cliff. Yeah. So at least this part of the forest is fairly flat-ish, he says with tongue-in-cheek. Right, on I will go up the hill. Well, I've stopped to take pictures. That's my official excuse. I'm actually knackered, so I've stopped for a rest. Good news is I'm almost at the top. Bad news is almost isn't actually at the top. So, right, this top bit is a bit, pick your way through the rocks and watch out because there's still a bit of ice around. But, like I say, as long as you keep going up, you're going in the right direction. Oh, actually I can see my goal. Right across there in the distance, there's a rock ridge. That's where I'm heading. Oh, I'm going to stop and enjoy that view. Let my heart rate slow from abysmally fast to somewhat slower. Oh, that breeze is so nice. I'll take that. It's a very cold wind, considering. I think it's minus 2, minus 1, something like that. It's around 0-ish. But I tell you what, after slogging up that hill, that breeze is very nice. Right, that's where I'm heading. Right up there to that rock peak in the distance. Now, if that view does not make that climb worthwhile, I don't know what does. Yeah, this top bit is actually quite pleasant. If it was all like this, it'd be very nice. However, if it was all like this, this place would be absolutely crazy busy with people. This bit's almost like a stroll. Like lolly 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 amble, amble amble. And the last time I came up through here, there was a fair amount of deadfall to cut out, which was another reason why I came up here today. Yeah, was to just see what there is. And I think I cleared most of it out last year, but look at it. It doesn't look like we've had much. It's usually the cue for I will go around the corner and find a whole bunch. However, you have to keep your eyes on the rocks. Yeah, so apologies if I'm not really paying attention. Try not to fall over. Aha! Cut that out last year. Remember cutting that one. Well, good news is it doesn't look like we've had much since then. Rocks make good steps. You just have to be careful that they're not actually still moving. Pictures like that. Maybe I wish I had my other camera with me. Yeah, that's very nice, eh? Right, onwards and upwards. I'll try not to stumble over too many rocks. Ooh, I know I need a drink. You get stumbly when you haven't had enough water, and I'm getting stumbly. So once I get up the top here a bit further, I will have a drink. Pick my way through these rocks and trees. Don't remember that one from last year. Although there was a perfectly good path around it. I might have those two out on the way down, that one and the one behind me. Yeah, those two look fairly new. This one I'll have out on the way down. It's kind of what I expected to find up here, because this is right on a ridge, and after the big blowdown in November that we had, there's a lot of the ridges got a huge amount of deadfall on them. Right, I'll put this away till I get to the top. Closing in on the top. As you can see, I started off at road level way down the bottom there. Be careful at the top piece here, because there is a sizable cliff that falls off there, as you can see. Yeah, although it's much quicker to get back to the road that way, it's somewhat more painful. Unless you're a mountain goat, I wouldn't head down that way. Yeah. The walk up here, this last piece of the walk, is absolutely stunning, absolutely amazing. However, makes that first bit of the struggle well worthwhile. This bit kind of just meanders through the forest band on the top of the hill. First time I came up here, I actually came up the backside of this hill. Let me tell you, that was also pretty damn rough. Oh, yes. Yeah, Eagle Hill, for those people that do Eagle Hill, that's out over that way, roughly in the middle of the shot there. I saw a bunch of cars parked at the bottom today. I can actually see part of the trail that goes up there. A lot of people go up there. I wouldn't be at all surprised to find that that's where those other people had gone. Yeah, at least they're the smart ones. They took the short route. There's a long route and a short route, and they took the short route, so well done those people. As you can see, that is a sizable cliff. Just be careful along this bit, because it is like loose shaly rock and you have to cross it. Get to the top. Ooh, that's an unfortunate place for a tree to be. Yeah. However, make a good handhold, I guess. Just don't hold on to anything that's rotten. Makes it well worthwhile though. Look at that. If that's not a nice picture, I don't know what is. Clouds beginning to build, but they said it might today, so I ain't too worried about it. Bit of water never hurt anybody. Tell that to the people on the Titanic, I know. Yeah. Right. Now then, yes, for those people that are really adventurous and they want to follow the who the hell knows why route to get up here, they cut all this lot. This was all clear cut a few years back, and the first time I came up here, I actually came up through that lot. As you can see, there's probably still a couple of feet of snow in there. This time of the year, it's because that's on the other side of the hill. That's on the north side of the hill and south side of the hill. Huge difference, eh? Yeah. Right, we'll go around that nice tree. I'll leave that one there because that keeps people off the edge, I guess. Yeah. Right, nearly at the top. Yes. Thank goodness. Trouble is, my head still keeps telling me I'm 20, but I can tell you right now, my legs, back of my legs are kind of burning, because that's a bit steep in places. Hey, look at that, snowflakes. Hey, bugger off. The snowflakes. So this is on top of that cliff. So as you can see, that's a long way down, so probably best avoid that. Oh. Now, somebody had built, last time I was up here, very nice little stone shelter. Oh, it's still there. Good. Somebody had a campfire by the look of it. Yes. It's rather nice little stone shelter. Last time I come up here, it was windy as hell. But this actually made a very nice windbreak and a great place to stop. So that's exactly what I'm going to do again today. Sit on that nice comfy rock. I might rebuild some of that wall because the wall's fallen down. But as you can see, what an amazing place. Oh, I know it's a slog to get up here, but well worth it. Those hills over there, that's all Hunchback Hills, but I'll do some more of that in a minute once I've got all this gear off and I've cooled down. I decided before I actually stopped for a rest, that right smack in the middle of the shop, that's Kananaskis Mountain. For all the people that know the area, it gives you a good bearing. Probably quite a lot of people up there today. A little bit of wind up here, so I'm not sure how that'll come up on the mic. Very little traffic on this road. I've been watching, I've seen one truck go by. There's about 4 or 5 cars parked down the bottom where I am, and that is about it. Now, I can't go any closer to this edge because a lot of this is loose rock, and it doesn't look overly stable, to be quite honest. Now, there is supposed to be a route up through that way, but that's why I came along to the end of this ridge, because an old logging road goes up through there. I can just about see it, and that'll go up onto that ridge in the centre of the shot there. That's somewhere I've not explored. That might be on my to-do list, because that looks fairly easy to get to, because I can park down the bottom there and straight up the hill. And then but there is a large gully between me and that next hill, which means in order to get up that way I've got to go down and up. And since I'm already up, I will go back to the rock shelter, rebuild a bit of that, and have something to eat, I think, and something to drink. Always important to make sure you've got lots of water with you. You'd be surprised how you get stumbly and dehydrate. A lot of people don't realise, like even in this temperature, you don't think you're dehydrating, but you do. And a very quick way to figure that out is if you start tripping on rocks and over little things that you wouldn't normally trip over, then you can say to yourself, you know what, time to stop and have something to eat. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. You may wonder why I'm blurbing away. Reason being is, last time I came up here, in that forest just off to my left, there was a lot of bear track, and I don't know whether they just use this as a corridor through on the backside of this hill. But it doesn't hurt. Human voices travel a huge distance out the mountains. But never a bad idea to have a bit of yabba going on. Now there is a gully here. Goes down there. It almost looks like you could get down there, but looking from the other side, I certainly wouldn't risk it, because just off that edge there looks like that's pretty much a straight down, about 40 feet. So I don't think that would be a wise option. In case you're up here exploring, don't explore down there. Right, let's get this blooming gear off, rebuild some of this, and have a bite to eat. Yeah. There we go. Right, let me get this gear off and get some of this sorted. Right, got a little bit of that wall rebuilt. I figured out why they took the wall down. Somebody had had a fire up in here and piled the rocks onto the fire, which is never a bad idea. Actually, what I need is a better chair. Oh, that's a good chair. see what they had a fire in here. At least they did put rocks on the fire. Oh, as always, have one of these in your pack. These things are brilliant. That. Well, it doesn't get much better than this. And the good thing is, from here, it's all downhill on the way back, which is nice. Those hills over there, that's all Hunchback Hills. That's a very nice place to explore. However, just take a compass with you, because it's very easy up there to end up on the wrong ridge. You can head one way or the other way and end up on the wrong ridge. And in that valley, the other side of here, where it comes down the bottom, this time of the year it's very deep snow in there, and it's very wet, like really wet. So not really somewhere you want to go stomping around if you're not comfortable with that. And if you come down here, if you come down this side of the mountain, if you find yourself on the wrong side, there's a big swampy area at the bottom here as well, with a decent sized creek in it. This hill is called 70 Buck Hill. I can think of a few more names for it right now, but none that you can put on camera. Oh dear. It's a bit of a slog to get up here, but if you've never been here, it's well worth it. It really is a good spot. Like I say, be careful, because there is a decent sized cliff. Literally right behind me there's a good sized cliff. And even if you're only coming out for the day, make sure you have enough food and water with you to last a couple of days at least. But, always have some of these in your pack. Oh, I feel better already. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Yeah. Yes, how odd's that? That in there. Make sure I don't lose that. Right. As you can see, Chateau De Flintstone is actually a very nice little brick house. Must have taken somebody quite some time to build this. I think it's probably the efforts of several people, I should imagine, because to collect this much rock along here, even though there's a lot of it, to collect this much rock, you'd be going some for some time. Yeah. But if that is not a nice view, I don't know what is. I've been waiting to see if another car will come by, but haven't seen one yet. Which really surprises me. Either that or it's a weekday and I should be at work. That'd be funny. Yeah, why weren't you at work today, Dave? Oh, I thought it was Saturday. Yeah, oh well. Those mountains down through there, the one on the left, a slightly rounded top, that's Mount Baldy, that is. Very popular hike. I can see the rain, looks like rain or snow coming over the top of the mountains there. I don't know how well that shows up in the cloud. You can zoom on this lens. I've got to figure out how to do that. I think you have to zoom and then turn it back on. But they said possible snow and rain, and I think they're probably right. Looking at the cloud, that over there is definitely snow falling out of it. Doesn't look like it's reaching the ground now, so I think it's just Virga. Oh, right, I'm going to have a sit down and see if I can see. I wonder if you can see Eagle Hill from here. I know you can see it halfway up. I don't know if you can see it from this point. Oh yes, you can, right through the middle there. Yeah. That through the middle. Eagle Hill, straight through there. That's another fantastic viewpoint from up there, but you can only go as far as the top of the hill. North of there it goes out onto the reserve. That's private land. That's part of the Nakota land, I think that is. And then so you have to respect their land, stay this side. All those hills down through there, that's all nice exploring. Been down through most of that lot. Some very nice places to explore down through there. And that next ridge over in the distance as well, that's nice up in there as well. There's a spot there, there's a clearing I can see on top of the hill. But I've been up there, it's very nice. Yeah. Yes, as you can see, still a good amount of snow up in here. I don't know what that is. That's probably good, a couple of feet or more, easy. Some of that, like those lumps and that's probably 2 or 3 feet of snow. But you'll be surprised. We get that first rainfall, which is supposed to be coming, and you'll be surprised how quickly all that melts. Then we get the spring runoff. That can always be interesting around here. Yeah. Right, I'm going to go and sit down, stop waffling, and finish up my bar. Right, that'll do for the moment. Right, now I've just hit the zoom button, I think. So if it looks closer than it was, I got it right. If it doesn't, I didn't. Right, over there, Yamnuska Mountain, straight through the centre of the shot there. Door jam and all that lot along there. So very nasty cloud coming over that way, but I don't really care because I'm up here now. And across there, Mount Baldy. This lot here is all Hunchback Hills. Over there, with the snow on the top, roughly in the middle of the shot there, that's Cox Hill. Very, very popular with the mountain bikers and what have you. And the one in the middle of the shot there now, that's Moose Mountain. Hey look, a vehicle. I can hear it. I know you're down there. Where are you? There you are. I see you. Yeah. So proof there are other people in the world. That gives you an idea. That's how much elevation you gain just getting up here. So it is a fair slog to get up here, but worth every step, I tell you. Worth absolutely every step. If you can't sit here and just be totally amazed by the place, I don't know. Yeah. It's absolutely brilliant. Yes. That is a very bumpy road, by the way. It's not tarmac. It's all potholes. They loosely call it a gravel road. Yes. A gravel pothole would be better. They washboard this road every now and again. And when they do that, it just destroys it. But where that truck is now, he's actually, just when he goes around these corners, he's actually going to descend a very steep section of the road. So yeah, that piece really does need washboarding. Yeah. Yes, that last corner he's about to go around is the start of the steep bit. However, if you're into photography, that piece of road from there to the bottom, you can get some absolutely stunning pictures of like Mount Baldy and up through the range there, Lady Mac and all that kind of stuff. So it's really nice. I see a lot of trees down in here with the top snapped out of them, which is kind of interesting. Yes. As you can see, very nice along here. Yes, I guess that I did zoom in. Hasn't got much of a zoom because this is the GoPro 10, and they don't have much of a zoom on them. But my other camera, if I bring my other camera up here with a 300mm lens on it, it's amazing. You could zoom in on people on top of the bloody Moose Mountain. There is actually a fire lookout up there, and I have taken pictures right here with my good lens, as I call them. And you can see the building quite clearly. Yes. Yeah. I wouldn't go too close to that edge because it's very, very crumbly. Well worth the walk up here. Well worth it indeed. Right. There's a couple of trees I'm going to clear out on the way down. Luckily I have my big saw with me today, which is rather nice. I actually remembered it. That's one of the best things I ever bought. That was. I've got the 2000. I made a pouch for the 2000 in here. That's where that one lives, and my snippers. And then I've got the 500 here, so that takes care of the bigger stuff. The 2000 saw, amazing tool, absolutely amazing. Cut just about anything. But I can tell you now, the 500 and like the 650s and what have you, they're just something else. They really are. If you're ever in any doubt as to which wood saw to buy for this kind of stuff, just get a Silky. The best one I find is the 2000, because it's big enough to cut really big stuff, but it's also capable of cutting a lot of the smaller stuff you need for your campfire too. But if like me, you're doing a lot of trail clearing and what have you, the 500 or the 650 just makes such light work of it. And to cut out here, you can't cut with a chainsaw because you have to do the course and all that kind of stuff, and you've got to have somebody with you and all the protective gear and all the rest of it. However, just for light trail clearing, and that's pretty much all I do, I don't do the heavy stuff, like the 500 or the 650, absolutely perfect. Bloody amazing saws. For years and years and years I used to do this with bow saws, until one day I thought, let's give one of those Silky saws a go, and hey presto, I haven't used my bow saw since. I have two of them in the back of the car. They've never even been out the back of the car since then. Right, that'll do for the moment. And that should now be back to normal size. Now, I did discover with this camera that you can't zoom in, and well, maybe you can, I don't know, I just don't know how to do it. But you can't zoom in while you're actually filming. But looking at that nasty cloud, two of those mountains have now disappeared the other side of the nasty cloud. So I think what I will do is I will have another drink and I will head back down again. I don't mind clambering over rocks when they're dry, but when they're slippery and wet, it's not so much, not so good. Right, I'll put this away, have a drink, get all my gear sorted, and head back down. Well, as you can see, this is about 5 minutes, not even, from when I said, hey, look at the sunshine, the clouds starting to come in, I should probably head down. As you can see, I don't know if it's showing up on this camera, it's actually started snowing. So now would be a very good time to head back down. So I'm going to do exactly that. Just make sure I left nothing behind. Saw, gear, snowflakes, yeah. Right. Yes. And this is why you never ever come out in the mountains. Even in summer, I never come out in the mountains unless I have enough gear to spend the night, basically. Because living around here, you soon get used to the fact that you can have all 4 seasons in a day or an hour. Yeah. So just now, literally, I was sitting in the sun. Let's go across this way. That's less exposure to that cliff. So I will go down through this way. Since it's now beginning to snow. This is a lot safer. I'll tell you what though, something else, isn't it? Absolutely something else. I do have one of the mounts for this thing that goes on my pack, so I should at some stage do like a time lapse of some of the trails I do, because that's a feature I haven't really used much on here, but apparently this camera is extremely good at it, so we shall see. Yes, look at that. Baldy's beginning to disappear into the snow. See if I can get that shot through there. Yeah, Baldy's beginning to disappear into the snow, so it is a very good idea to get off the mountain now. There is one very steep section that I have to do, and I really don't want to have to do that in a blizzard. So I'm going to head back down here. Closes in fast, doesn't it? I see these people out day hiking, even in the summer, and they're dressed in nothing but flip-flops, Lululemons, and a t-shirt, and off they go. They may think they look all hip and trendy, wandering up the mountains, until the weather changes. Then they find themselves freezing and not really knowing what to do. Always make sure you got food, water, enough gear with you. Spend the night if you had to. And I quite often choose not to if I don't have to. But sometimes you don't get that choice. Sometimes that choice is made for you. You get out in the middle of nowhere and then suddenly the wind gets up, gets really, really strong, and it gets dangerous to travel. Or you find yourself coming up towards night time and you've cut it a bit late in the day to get off the mountain. You might find yourself having to stay there. But good idea to have all your stuff with you. Right, I can tell you something. Going back down this mountain, it's way too. Whoa, look at that lot. Yeah, Yumnuska's about to get hammered. So if you're up there today, sorry. I can see it coming. It's coming your way at a rapid rate of knots. Yeah, it's coming my way too, so I should stop yabbering and get on down this mountain. Yeah. Oh, this is so good. That's one good thing about struggling up a mountain, is that you know that no matter how much it may have hurt getting up here, going back down, it's going to be much nicer. This is way more pleasant. Wind's starting to get up too, I don't know if you can hear it. Once I'm off this ridge, it'll the wind will vanish. So it's not because I'm on the ridge at the moment. There's a couple of trees down here I need to take care of on the way down. What I call step over trees, I don't really bother with those because they all get crunched up with people walking on them. It's the ones across the trail that can cause a problem. They're the ones I tend to clear out. Last thing you want is a tree falling on somebody. Takes very little effort to move them out the way. But, a lot of people bring kids and that up on the trails and that. It just makes it a little bit safer for them. Ooh, oh yeah, that's coming my way fast. Right. That wind's kicked it up about 3 notches. Right, I kicked that one off the trail, so those other 2 that need cutting must be just down here somewhere, because I didn't come up too far before I saw those. Somewhere here. There's a couple of ways you can come up this mountain. There's the long way, which is round the back and then up through that forest I just showed you with the 2 to 3 feet of snow in it. You have to kind of pick your way through there because there is no proper trail. This is not an official trail as such. It is a trail that a lot of people do. But so there is no official route up through here. People just kind of make it up as they go along. The good thing is if you clear a blatantly obvious path without creating a 6-lane highway, people tend to keep that route rather than just stomping on everything. Now somewhere here, ooh, look at that one. Wind caught that one. That's going to be coming down there soon. Stop here for a bit. Oh yes, very nice indeed. Like I say, be very careful here because it is a long drop off down there. Not the fall that hurts, it's the rapid deceleration at the bottom. Oh, this is so much nicer getting down here. Like I say, this is not an official trail, so I don't clear it out like I would a proper trail. If this was an official trail, I'd clear out a lot of this stepping over stuff as well. However, since it's not, I won't. Like I say, we're not trying to make a 6-lane highway, just trying to make it safe to walk up. Yeah. Oh yes. back down this way is very enjoyable, I must admit. The steep bit I will need 2 hands for. Ah, that looks like that could be that tree I was looking for. Da, da, da. Yes, it is. There's 2 here. I'm gonna just move out the way just to get those done. Right, just whip those out the way. It won't take long. Right, that's those 2 out the way. One little one there. Get that out of the way. So I decided to take this one out of the way, and the root ball decided to fall over, so I had to cut that one twice. Yeah, that's why you've got to be careful cutting trees. See, I knew that root ball was going to go one way or the other, and it came this way. Oh well, as soon as the rain hits that, it'll all fall to pieces. So yes, it's not bad. Only a couple of small ones to get out of the way up here. It's actually not too bad at all. Yeah, when you get the root balls lift up like that, water and everything will collect in there now. Helps it soak into the ground there pretty good. Makes like little pools. Put all this rubble and that off the tree. As soon as the rain hits that, it'll disappear. Right, just had a bit of a blizzard front come through. So I'll head on down. Like I say, there are several routes up this hill. This, I believe, is this is definitely the shortest, but unfortunately therefore the steepest. Just make sure you wear good boots up here. The mountains are vanishing, eh? Look at that. Yeah, wind's getting up too. Once I'm down the back side of this mountain, that wind won't be a problem. Starting to lessen off a bit. Oh dear. Apologies for the sniffles. Just sneezing quite a lot. I say, this part of the trail, it's actually very nice. That's where I just come from. There's rocks way in the distance over there. So that's nice. Beautiful little trail. Absolutely lovely down through here. But the steep bit down the bottom, there's one bit that I call the balls of the foot, and there's another bit that I call hands and feet. There is one steep piece. That's definitely a hands and feet job, that is. Yeah. Yes, looks like Canmore is probably pretty at the moment. That valley straight up through there, that's where Canmore is. Yes, looks like they got quite the weather up there at the moment. That's okay. The difference between south side, no snow, north side, snow all the way down through there. Right, I have to descend all the way down to the road, which there's another bit of trail down through there. I don't think that would be any easier. A bit more rocky by the look of it. So I will continue down this way, because this is the way I know. And there is some flagging up here. Some people have put some flagging up, which I know a lot of people don't like flagging. However, those people are the same people that also know the trail. You get a lot of people that want to get out and explore and they don't know the trail. Just spotting a bit of flagging every now and again just reassures them that they're on the right route, not heading off into the middle of nowhere. Because there are a lot of places that you could very quickly run into trouble. Look at that, now sun's coming out. See, it's back to summer again. Just had winter, now we're back to summer. Give it 10 minutes, it'll blow back in again. Right. Yes, there is a little bit of flagging down here. See? Right there. However, I know some people don't like flagging at all and they rip out every bit of flagging they see, but like I say, those are usually people that know exactly where they're going, and all the people that want to get outside and explore don't. But if people are outside exploring, I'm all for it, because they're not sitting in front of the computer playing computer games or sleeping on the couch. If they're out here, trust me, coming up here, they are definitely getting good exercise. Right, I need to adjust all my gear for going down this steep bit here in a second. Right, this is where the steep bit starts. Once you break out of that forest, this is the shallow steep bit, and then once these trees change, these are high alpine trees, these ones here. Once you get down into the older growth forest, that's where it gets really steep and quite rubbly. So I will put this away in a second. Very nice, eh? As you can see, it's fairly steep. I can hear another car, and I can see dust. Don't know if you can hear them, but I can just about hear that. Nice and quiet, isn't it? That's why I come to places like this, you know. But, you can come out here. Okay, in the summer you're going to see more people. A lot of people are fair weather hikers and what have you, which is fine. That's what they're comfortable with. That's good for them. But for me, I prefer to be out all year round. I'm not overly keen on this time of the year, to be quite honest, because it's like shoulder season, and it's sometimes the snow's still rock hard, and sometimes it's just like mush. And you go down the south side of a mountain and it's absolutely stunning, and you get on the north side of the mountain and you're knee deep in snow again. So right, I'm going to head down the hill down there, so I will need 2 hands for that. So I shall put this away until I get a bit further down. Right, the steep bit has settled out a little touch. I'll do another little bit of video coming down here. Like I say, this is steep, but this is not the steep bit. This is less steep than the really steep. But stunning nevertheless. Can't dodge it, eh? It's funny, as you get older, going uphill is a pain in the arse. Coming downhill is a pain in the knees. I do what I call pigeon steps. Coming down hills like this. I have no wish to sprint down this hill, thanks. I'm sure the 20-somethings would have been at the bottom of the road by now laughing at me. However, I will plod down the hill. I can tell you now, it is so much easier than coming up here. I don't know if that shot will give you an idea. There we go. I've got the camera as horizontal as I can. That's literally straight across. Gives you an idea how steep this piece is. And the next bit is even steeper. But this is the shortest route. I think this is only 1.5 kilometers, something like that. It's not huge. Not a huge difference. Somewhere between 1 and 2 kilometers anyway. But it's up. See, another bit of flagging. Oh my god. And this is very loose material too. So just be a little bit careful on here. There are lots of rocks. Some of these that you stand on aren't really attached to much. Look, I can see fresh tracks heading uphill. It's one thing I do like with the winter. Like if you're out here and it's covered in snow, at least you can see what you're sharing the forest with. This time of the year you have to make a little bit more noise. Bears are awake. There are wolves and coyotes and all kinds of crap and that around here. But so I saw a couple of moose this morning, and moose are the only thing that really bother me. There was a couple of female moose out in a little swampy area, and only about 60-70 feet from the car, and I thought, okay, As long as there's not a Mr. Moose around here somewhere, I should be alright. That rock there, I'll get that off the trail. Just make sure that stops rolling before I keep going. There you go, yeah. Those are the kind of rocks, they can pick up a lot of speed, do a lot of damage too, so I like to get them off the trail, but I like to make sure they've stopped before proceeding. You don't want that thing chasing you down the hill, do some damage. Right. Okay, I'm just coming up to the steep rocky bit, so I shall put this away for a while. So just as a point of reference here, I forgot to mention, that's the road down the bottom, and I can hear a vehicle. There used to be a proper parking area down the bottom of there, but for some reason they took it out. I'm not really quite sure why, but they did. So now everybody just parks on the side of the road. It's wide enough, and there's like a little sideways pull-out piece that you can park in. There used to actually be, pretty much right in the middle of the shot there, there used to actually be a proper parking area there. Now it's all closed off and covered in rocks. Not sure what the plan is of that. Right, you see somebody turning around and parking down there. Maybe they're heading up this way too. Let's have a look. It is a popular hiking spot. Out come the dogs. Now, just as a point of reference, up around here I see a lot of people walking their dogs, and their dogs are all off leash and what have you. I would never do that up in here, because there are a lot of cougars and stuff up in here, and coyotes and what have you, and trust me, they will lure your dog away, and that is the last time you'll see Rover, unless you happen to find the bones. That's the last time you'll see them. Yeah, it's a good idea to keep your dog on a leash. It is actually required. You are actually supposed to keep your dog on a leash, but a lot of people don't, because you'll hear the same thing from every single person. Oh, my dog's a good dog, it wouldn't run away. But it will chase a cougar, because a cougar, I don't know if you've ever heard a cougar, they can make this little squeaky sound, almost sounds like a kitten, and they'll make that noise to attract the dogs or whatever to chase them, and they'll just sit there and hide in an ambush, and as soon as your dog runs through the gap in the trees, poof, done, dog's dead in 3 seconds. Yeah, tell you, cougar can sort out a dog, and I don't care how mean people's dogs are. I've heard people tell me, oh, my dog's really mean. Compared to a 150-pound cat, trust me, your dog's nothing. I don't care what kind of dog you got. 150-pound cat will soon sort it out. Yeah, right. So yeah, it looks like they do have their dog on the leash, so that's a good thing. Right, now the really rough rocky bit starts just down here. There is a very specific gap that you want to find in these rocks, because there are several bits that you could climb up. However, let's get a bit steeper here. I'll keep this camera out just for a little bit longer. I want to show you the gap in the rocks. There is a piece of flagging that marks it. Thank you very much, whoever put that there. Right, as you can see, the terrain has changed. I'm actually hanging onto a tree at the moment. The terrain has changed, so now I have to put the camera away. And but this is the gap you're looking for. When I get to the bottom of this gap, I'll do a view pointing upwards. But other than that, this needs to go away for a second. Right, this is the rocky bit, the bottom of the rocky bit. There's a bit of flagging on that one tree there, and that marks the safest route up through here, because all of this rock is loose. Look at this. You look at that and you think you could just grab hold of that. Look at that. Yeah. And, this stuff will literally fall to pieces on you, so be careful what you grab hold of. But that is the route up there, up through that gap there, and then from here on down it gets very steep. Yes, from here on down, a couple of these places down through here are hands and feet, but that piece of rock that sticks out like that, that's the bit you're looking for, and you want to go slightly to the left of that and up and around. but be careful what you grab hold of. There are many rocks there that you can hold onto. Just be careful, because a lot of it's loose. It really is. I'm stood on the side of a big boulder at the moment, actually. Not overly comfortable where I'm standing. There we go, I'm going to stand next to this tree. So that's the bit you're looking for. There's all kinds of ways up through here, and somebody's put flagging up through there. That gap up through there, I'm not sure that'd be any better, because it's rough. It takes you to exactly where I was before, but there's some red flag in there. You could go that way, but there's one big rotten tree right across what was the trail up there, so I probably wouldn't now. Easiest way is to go up that way. And again, I'll try and keep the camera horizontal, give you an idea the grade of the land here. And this is all loose rock, so be careful on this piece. And I'm going to head down here. Rather, I'm going to slide down here by the look of it. So yeah, I'm going to head down that way, camera away. Don't want to break the camera, and I'll do some more bit in a bit. Once you clear the trees and get off the really rocky bit, which is up through there, you'll find yourself in the middle of this lot. You'll also find a whole bunch of flagging in here. People have flagged different routes that they have used. There is no correct route. I know this is the way I came up, because this is the way the deer come up. I tend to follow the way the deer go, because deer are smart. Yeah. As you can see, a lot of deadfall winter, so it's a lot of my nut hole, a lot of stepping over rocks and trees and all that other good kind of stuff. So basically, rule of thumb, on the way up there, head up. When you're coming back, head down. Yeah. So as long as you head down this hill, it doesn't really matter which way you go. As long as you head up down this hill, you will end up on the road. And, from there, it's very evident. This looks like the deer trail that I came up, actually. Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah. Bogs like this I like. You can see it's had a fair amount of traffic. Oh, that's warming up now. Sun's come out. So we had winter just now, and now I'm so warm in my coat. Even though I'm walking downhill, I'm not exerting a lot of energy. I'm just literally heading downhill. I'm now warm. I've had to take my hat back off. Yeah. Yes. That's a prime example of how steep this is. Actually, I'm taking pigeon steps and I'm still sliding down this hill. So I think for safety, I will use both hands.